You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic bootcamp, Moveville University, Pure Chiro Notes, Dr. Alok Trivedi, The Black Diamond Club, Element Mattresses, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Vita Chiropractic, the Universal Traction System, MedZone, Vantage Point Marketing, and Imaging Services. Let's hustle. Hey everyone, Jim Chester here. Got Daryn Wiese over there. He's in Barcelona, Spain. I'm over here in Grand Junction, the Grand Valley on the Western Slope, which I like to say no one lives. And this episode is brought to us today by Palmer Rugby. You can see I got Palmer Rugby here, established 1960. And Daryn is, how long have you been out of school now?
10 years this year.
All right, 10 years. So he's a legend. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask you a quick question. Are you ready to Chiro hustle?
I'm ready to hustle, baby.
All right, cool. So first question is, how did Palmer set you up for success, man?
That's a good question. I think for me with the rugby team, because I didn't go to Palmer actually to play rugby. I had a sports medicine background, and I actually started out by taking care of the team. But one of the guys found out that I played college football, and they said, "Hey, let's see if you can play." And so what I ended up having to do is organize my life. So between being like a TA and playing rugby, taking care of the team, everything like that, I had to organize my life and be really concentrated and be focused. So I think that's what helped me out the most with Palmer Rugby, was to be focused. Really working on my goals and focusing on things, and having a great backbone of friends and teammates to collaborate with things.
Yeah, and I know that you've been practicing over in Spain. How long have you been over there?
I've been over here 10 years. When I got out, I had a preceptorship that took me over here to Spain, and I've stayed ever since.
That's
cool.
Travis. Travis Corcoran, he's over in the Netherlands. He's rocking it out too. Palmer grad, good dude. Love Travis and his team at Top Chiro. Big shout out for those guys. But let's get back to your career right now. I know you've been involved with the Spanish Chiropractic Association. Is that what it's called? The Spanish
Chiropractic Association. Well, in English and Spanish, it's Quiropráctica Española, or the Asociación Española de Quiropráctica. So, but in English Chiropractic Association in Spain here. Yeah, I was part of the board of directors for 5 years. I stepped down because I wanted to. I guess when you get kind of to a spot where it takes a lot of extra time, and you want to focus on other things and focus on more availability for me and be in my office, and also for expanding chiropractic. So I decided to start pushing things on my own, and I got more involved with Palmer Rugby also.
Yeah, and the cool thing is you've recently opened up a second office, right?
Yeah, well. Recently, but it's been a few years. But yeah, I recently opened up a second office. And yeah, that also keeps me more busy also. That was kind of the same time I was stepping down. It was like, all right, other office, you got to keep things in balance. It's important for me. So.
And now in your career, you've been competing in Ironman. Let's talk about like your biggest fail there, how you got into it, and where you are right now.
Okay. I like how you said the biggest fail, because yeah. All right. Well, I'll keep this story short because this could be a long one, but, what happened was, 8 years ago, actually, I was, turning 30, and I signed up to do an Ironman. That was it. Just want to get focused and do an Ironman. 10 days after, I had a motorcycle wreck, broke my leg, open tib fracture, pretty nasty. And I was like, yeah, this ain't going to happen now. Medical doctors told me the typical, hey, you're going to walk with a limp, you might not run. So I used that as kind of motivation. You can't tell me what to do. And so, and you know how far that goes. And well, I was fortunate enough to have a friend that had experience with Ironman races. And he's like, you know what? I looked at this and I think you can pull it off. When can you start running? Told him. So with 6 months to prepare, after getting back walking again, I started by little, and yeah, I did the Ironman in the end. And actually, for me, it was a decent time in 13 hours. I was pretty happy with that after a break coming off a broken leg. So space out. I kind of, after that, I had a lot of time to think and with training and also laying in a bed with a broken leg. And that was a big focus and change for me with chiropractic. I really became a lot more enthusiastic because also with my recovery, I had a lot of adjustments. So with recovering, I really saw even more personally the power of chiropractic and how it's helped me to get to the level I'm at now. And so I had to hit the switch, and I was like, okay, I really got turned on even more to chiropractic. And now it just changed my whole philosophy on being healthy and not having a limit in what I can do. So I guess maybe that's what it was. That medical doctor pissed me off when he told me, you're not going to be able to do that race. And I was like, screw you. I'm going to do it. So I just decided, and then luckily, very fortunate to have some good friends and good colleagues that got me adjusted all the time. A lot of rehab, a lot of grit, but I got through it. And, I focused on my career and opening a couple offices. And now I'm back at it again, thanks to another Palmer rugby grad, a good friend of mine, Matt Walker. Last year, he talked me into doing a race with them. Actually, he came to Barcelona, did a race. Then I went to Ohio with him, did a race. And now we're at it again. I'll see him again in Ohio this year and do another race. So I got the bug now, doing half Ironmans with Walker.
Yeah, that's cool. He's a hell of a motivator. He actually I think it was like 8 years ago. He's like, Jim, if you just get out of your own way, you could change the world. And I took that as like, I really pissed me off. He was like the MD to me, and I'm like, who are you to tell me to get out of my own way? I'm cool. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm fine. But then after I reflected on it a while, I realized that the hardest thing to do is to get over ourselves. And the hardest thing to do is to get over what's in between this gray matter, or these two temples is the gray matter.
It's so good you said that. That's what I found out when I broke my leg. It's whatever I think here, I can achieve. That was like when I accomplished that after having a broken leg, not being able to do anything, and within less than a year, getting to do that Ironman. It was like, to me, it was like, man, if I can do that, I can do anything. So I don't think I have not hit a goal since. So that was like my wake up moment, my aha moment, and now I'm just full on. That's what I'm really looking forward to coming back to Palmer, because it's always good to say hi and catch up with everybody and learn. There's some good speakers coming. And I don't know, you just get all jazzed up and you just get all fired up about chiropractic. I'm getting fired up right now, even talking about it, but it's always good to come back and visit.
So yeah, let's turn the corner. Let's do a big left turn right now. Let's talk about Palmer more, and let's talk about the symposium coming up. That's April 13th and 14th back at the Fountainhead. And I know there's a lot of people out there that might be bringing someone with them, but you're bringing yourself, and you're going a long distance. You're coming from Spain, and you said earlier off camera, like, this is your fourth time back at Palmer in the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I've actually, now to think about it, I've been back to I didn't realize it until we were chatting before the podcast or the stream. And I was like, yeah, I've been back at least once a year, the last 4 years, for some type of Palmer function. I went to the symposium last year. The 2 years previous, I went to the All Blacks Palmer function up in Chicago. So I went back to Davenport. I met up with Matt, and we talked to the school once. So yeah, I was like, I've been going back more than I thought. So yeah, and I'm actually not coming alone this year. I'm bringing in the other office. So Matt said, you got to bring people. I'm bringing somebody. I'm bringing actually my girlfriend, which is also the chiropractor in the other office we have.
Boom.
And it'll be her first time to Palmer, so she's looking forward to it.
Welcome to the family, right?
Yep.
So that's another thing that we talk about on these lives with Palmer and Palmer Rugby is how are you giving back? I know that so many times people they finish school and they self-serve, but I know that the Palmer Rugby program is time, talent, and treasure. How are you giving back with your time, talent, and treasure?
Yeah, I have to think, and that's what I think back. I have to thank Palmer because they gave me so many opportunities. I mean, the opportunities to earn money while I was going to school. I mean, that was great. You know, the scholarships plus I had the advantage of the sportsman background. I could tape the guys, take care of the boys. They paid me for that too, so it was great. And then besides that, helping have less student loans. Thank goodness with Palmer and the rugby team. They also give me opportunities as speakers coming in. You meet people. You go travel to different places. There's other Palmer rugby. They take good care of you. You get to see and know more and more about the brotherhood. So it was great. So what I've done, and I was like, okay, I got to start giving back. So about 4 or 5 years ago, I started talking to Walker more, and we started getting more back in the swing of things. We talk all the time now, and you know, I travel a lot, as you can see, to come to support the events, and I don't come from Illinois or Wisconsin. You know, I'm coming from Spain, and so just with that, it's a big effort for me. So I think it's important though to show that effort. So I can say if I can make it to the symposium, you guys can drive 6 hours to make it to the symposium. Come on. So I think it's I'm trying to lead by example.
And why is it important to give back to the program?
Just for I think everything the opportunities they give to us. I mean, for one, I mean we're working in the in my opinion the best profession there is in the world, and they gave us the opportunity to do it at a discounted rate, you could say, for paying us to be there and play. And for me, it's important to give back. So I've donated. Also, besides my time coming, I've donated money also, because I think it's important to give back. They gave me money. I think it's my turn to give back now. Help out the students, help them get focused, help them move on and be successful when they get out of school. At the same time, they need a little help right now. I didn't have any cash when I was at Palmer. I know how it was. So, help out and get back, get those scholarships. It's very helpful when you're studying.
Good point there. And let's go bilingual on these people out here. I know we have some Spanish speaking audience out there now. So when it comes to what you've seen happen with Palmer and the rugby program over the past 5 to 10 years, what does that look like to you?
You want me to say in Spanish or English?
Yeah. Let's drop some bombs.
All right. I'll say in English first, then I'll switch to Spanish. I've seen a huge change in the way that Palmer rugby's been. It's been organized now. Sorry, I saw that comment from Travis, and I had to laugh on that. Good memories back to Palmer. All right. Problems about being alive. You see some things pop up, and you're like, "That's a good one."
Good humor,
right? So yeah. Back to the
serious stuff. The serious
stuff now. All right. I've seen just a huge organizational focus. I mean, we've put a lot of funds together. I mean, all the Palmer rugby alumni that put all their cash, all their time, and they've been really working to get this. I mean, because there was some issues with Palmer, and I mean, there were at times there they talked about the rugby team going away, and all the rugby alumni and people stepped up to help out, and now it's stronger than ever. They have more scholarships than ever. They're looking to build a field. They have the trust. I mean, they're a force now, and I think it's essential to Palmer that the Palmer rugby team and the Palmer rugby alumni are part of it, because for me, it's a huge network of a brotherhood that are very like-minded, and they really push things in a good way. I think it's important to keep balance at Palmer. So for me, it's essential. So I mean, I'll say it quick in Spanish, just to have fun with this. Noto en los últimos 5 años que hay un gran cambio en la organización de Palmer y del rugby, y yo creo que está haciendo muy buenas cosas para el futuro de quiropráctica y también para el futuro de Palmer, con el equipo de rugby, los alumnos, de los graduados, pues yo creo que sería súper guay para seguir el camino que hacemos. All right.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic bootcamp, Moveville University, Pure Chiro Notes, Dr. Alok Trivedi, The Black Diamond Club, Element Mattresses, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Vita Chiropractic, the Universal Traction System, MedZone, Vantage Point Marketing, and Imaging Services. Let's hustle.
Thank you for addressing it in Spanish too, because I know we have some Spanish-speaking people on the live today. We have a pretty good footprint with what we're doing down in Mexico. I went down there a couple years ago and showed our film in Spanish. We had Spanish subtitled, so it was pretty cool. Anyways, what does the future look like for the program?
I think it looks bright to me. I think they're doing things in a really good way. I gotta say thanks to the board. I think they're really doing some good things. Meeting some of the board last year at the symposium, and I know Walker's been working his tail off for years at getting things organized. And I think instead of us just being a group of supporters, now it's a focus group. I've been talking about focus a lot. I guess it's important for me. But yeah, I think it's a focus group with the energy, and we have a direction and an objective that we want to get to. So I think that's where we're going, and I see things going in a good way for Palmer Rugby.
And now I'm going to take a right turn with you, and I'm going to ask you some focused questions that you wanted to talk about. Okay. What is the I guess, how is chiropractic in Spain and Europe right now? And Travis will probably appreciate this answer.
Okay. I guess you could say it feels like the Wild West, at least in Spain, because it feels like let's say it's back in the 70s, like it was in the States. There's no legislation in Spain, and at least in Holland, where Travis is, there is legislation in some countries here in Europe. But I would say it's like the frontier. We need a trailblaze. We need to really push to get chiropractic with a good, in a good light, in a good sense, and like, oh, people know what chiropractic is. Like here in Spain right now, I mean, you ask what a chiropractor is, they might think it's a massage therapist. They have no idea. So we don't have a bad reputation or a good reputation. We don't have a reputation. So what I want to do, and that's my goal the next few years, is really become. Help out to have a good reputation in Spain, at chiropractic, and Europe. I think it's important, especially for the way things are going in the health professions. I think it's important we unite Europe and the U.S. and move on the same playing field, that with the same goals, so that we can really help the profession.
And I know that this is an alley-oop to you. What was it like? What was it like working in a foreign country, and what is it like now?
Man, it's not easy when you start out. At least if you don't speak the language. My Spanish was pretty bad when I got here, and I had to take night classes. So I'd work during the day and take night classes for about 6 months until I was somewhat, I could feel like I could communicate with people. And then from there, you're still learning for years. Now I feel like I'm pretty fluent now, but I've been here 10 years. But in the beginning, that's the most challenging part, is communicating with people, because I mean, people feel better. You adjust them, they get better. You can talk with your hands, but you can't communicate really the essence of chiropractic with your hands. You got to be able to talk with your mouth. So for me, that's been a big change in the last 5 years. I would say it's becoming more vocal and sharing chiropractic more.
And now I'm going to go off of, off script. And why is it important for us to have a presence on social media when it comes to what you're doing, what I'm doing, and what other chiropractors can do?
I think it just allows us to get to more people. We're not going to be paying big bucks to be on a commercial like, Budweiser or Coca-Cola or whatever. but it's a kind of a grassroots way that we can have more exposure and people can find out exactly what do we do. The more testimonies, the more cool things that people find out that chiropractic can help with and has helped with. Well, for me, it's huge. It's like more and more presence. They just think it's a normal thing. It's like, oh yeah, okay, the chiropractor. Okay, yeah, I'll go there. I have this issue. I'll go there. And then once they get to a part where they might thinking they might come because of an issue, then we can even move further. Oh, you should go to see a chiropractor even without an issue. But first, you gotta have to actually plant the seed and they have a reason to go to the chiropractor. Mm-hmm. At least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
if you don't have a reason, they're not gonna do it.
But just like you rehabbed quicker. It gave you the ability it gave you the ability to have greater human potential. And when you're not thinking about the things of like pain or dysfunction, you can focus on the things that matter, like success and health.
Totally. And that's a huge thing in my office or in the offices. They come in with a problem, but then you show them and not only help them with their problem, but show them how really cool chiropractic is. It's not just getting you out of pain, man. It's giving you more life. I got a professional dirt bike jumper. He just sent me a video, 20 minutes ago, showing me his double backflip. He just did it. He's out of town. He's like, man, hey, I appreciate all you're doing for me. Look, I finally did the double backflip. So he sent me a video of it. I was like, man, you're nuts, but that's awesome.
And that's just it, Daryn, is we get a chance to have wins every day that are like silent wins, but the practitioner sees them. And now when we get the opportunity to be more social on social, which I tell everybody to do. So that's why I'm going to recognize Travis Corcoran here again, but he goes, currently social media is really the key to expanding the reach that our principles deserve. And I think that once we have people out there that are consistent with the message that chiropractic is based on, innate intelligence, that the chiropractor locates and adjusts vertebral subluxation, I think when we have the right type of communication going on, then we have the right leverage to actually teach the communities what it is. But we all have to realize that speaking the same language on these platforms is essential to transmitting the information that people deserve.
Totally, I totally agree. If you have everybody like-minded and talking about how much more potential your body can have and how much better you're gonna feel, how much more better you're gonna function, not just only how you feel, but like all aspects of your life. Think better, you're physically better. I mean, there's so many different things, and if we come together and on all levels and so many different people saying the same message on social media, it's going to become normal. And then people are like, okay, I'm going to go to a chiropractor because I want to perform better.
And politically, the profession would be supported at a greater level if everybody supported the same mission.
Exactly. And I think maybe if we had more support and more of an influence like that, then maybe we might just get a law here in Spain someday.
Well, and that's why I leverage as hard as I do with this chiropractic truth of Chiro Hustles, because I want chiropractic to live outside the four walls of chiropractic. I want to bring it consumer based. I want to see where people start demanding chiropractic in their lives rather than I only go there for when I'm having some type of symptomatology. And I think that once we cross that barrier of influence, that people are like, those guys, they can keep me off of that stuff that the other people give me. I don't want that stuff. And I've never seen anybody that takes that stuff, life really improve. And, back in the day when I was working at Matt Walker's clinic, I learned that you should have two doctors in your life. One to save you from dying, like your leg when it broke.
Exactly.
You weren't going to go to you weren't going to go to the chiropractor and say, "Hey, can you adjust this away, pal?" No. You're saying I'm in emergency status. I need somebody to stitch me and to heal me with this trauma-based injury. But when it comes to understanding that the body heals itself from inside out, when we have a higher level nervous system functioning at optimum levels, then we have the ability to transcend, and we don't have to go to the other type of practitioner and say, hey, what can you give me to have a better quality of life? But the chiropractor, what they do is they teach people to eat, to think, to move, and to get adjusted. And when people eat, think, move, and get adjusted on a holistic level, then they don't need to lean on those other ideas that this is going to be the solution for me to have a better quality of life.
And if you even want to think at a bigger scale of what you're talking about, if you got a society that are eating better, thinking better, well-adjusted, they're healthier, they function better, then you have a better functioning society. So for me, it's huge for what we do. Hopefully we can keep sharing the importance, and more people get to know the importance of what we do.
And that's just it, Daryn, is, it used to be said that the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but he'll interest the patient in the human frame. And that's an Edison quote. But You guys are the doctor of the present, not the future anymore. You guys are arriving, and you guys have arrived, and you guys have been around for 122 years teaching these principles, the 33 of them, to humanity, that the body heals from inside out. It needs nothing extra in it, simply no interference. But you learned that from going through the same walls of Palmer that all these other, industry transformers have gone through.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate what you do to help us share the message, and that's why I said, it'd be great to be on your show. For me, it's a pleasure. More and more people get to know and talk about what we do. I appreciate you, pushing so hard to help our profession, man.
Well, let's close out now. Let's just say the Rugby Alumni Symposium is next month, April 13th and 14th, back at the Fountainhead, Davenport, Iowa.
Yeah, and get there. Come on. See if anybody else can beat me to see how far they travel to get there. I think I might win. I might win this year, the furthest person, because Yasu just had a baby in Japan, so he's not going to overdo me like last year. So, but hey, if anybody's going to come from further than Spain, let's do it.
So I'll put the links into the chat down there and let everybody know how they can come in and support Palmer Rugby at the Alumni Symposium. And if you guys aren't going to be there, think about supporting with your talent and your treasure. And because you've obviously checked out with the time one on this one. So
we talked a little while here, but I just want to say real quick is there's a really good lineup of docs talking. There's Deed Harrison, even a young alum, Matt Hartberg, talking about HRV, really cool stuff. Actually, I've been dealing with him. He's been telling me some stuff. I've been learning stuff about my triathlon training with the HRV. So real cool stuff, new. We got, Fred is always going to be there, giving us a spark. We got Heron doing the extremities. Let's see, who else do we got? Brad Glowacki, concussions. We got Alan talking about the NFL chiropractic. That guy's a stud. So, we got a lot. Is that everybody? I think that's everybody.
I think you did mention everybody. No, Roberto Monaco.
Yeah, there you go. These are somebody else forgetting. All right, we got it in real quick. All right.
and I'm just going to go through real quick and recognize everybody that's commented or said something onto the feed. We have Tim McFadden, upper cervical doctor in Yakima, Washington. I know you grew up in that area.
And Spokane, not too far away.
And then we have Travis Corcoran at Top Chiropractic. He was an active participant. Jimmy Lopez, he's in Chicagoland, active participant, always on the show. Lisa Tacky, she is actually in chiropractic school over at the School McTimity over in Manchester, England.
Cool.
And then we have Travis once again. Travis was a very active participant, Palmer grad. Thank you for making it humorous, and thank you for supporting us, Travis. And thank you for being on today, Daryn. It was a lot of fun, man.
My pleasure, man. It was a fun show. Man, time flew, but I had a good time, man.
Well, cool. Enjoy your evening in Spain, and I'm just gonna take the rest of the day off out here in Colorado. And
I think you deserve it, man. Take care.
I say taking the day off, but that's not really that's false. I'm gonna be working.
I know. You just don't have any more interviews today.
All right, Daryn.
Well, enjoy, buddy.
I'll see you, man.
All right, take care. We'll see you in a month.
All right. Yep.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.